Microphone is working. Alright, I think we have some moon. I'm gonna work on trying to get it in the frame here. It's a little challenging because I'm kind of looking through the camera lens, hiding under a tree. And the moon is kind of coming and going behind the clouds. This gives it sort of a spooky appearance. And also, the tree behind me is making it hard for me. Let's see if I can fix up the brightness a little for you. Oh, there's a bit of the moon. It's a pretty big diatom, yeah. Still a bit of clouds, but there's sort of a gap right above where the moon is right now. And as soon as the clouds kind of work their way out, I'll be able to fix the image a bit. What full moon is this? It's the one from Earth that you see in the sky. Its name is Luna. And I've got it on my camera. So let's see. Is the webcam working? Yeah, you can see me now. And my camera's behind me in the darkness, buried in a tree. And I'm in my front yard. And I switched to wireless because my wired connection is just out of reach, and my roof is blocking our view of the moon. So I have to kind of get out into the yard a bit. But we're here, and we have the moon. And occasionally the clouds part enough that you can actually see it. So that's nice. And maybe a little bit right here. It's doing that creepy cloud cover thing. Oh, sorry, I don't know what they call this one. You know, they got a different name for each full moon for some reason. I don't ever pay attention to those things. It's just a full moon. Sometimes it's a super moon, in other words, it's closer than usual. This one is not. And I'm going to let the moon creep up into our field of view a bit. Oh, is it based on Native American legends? Ooh, that's cool. And then I'm gonna zoom in on it using the digital zoom on my camera. Oh, it's the hunter's moon. Well, that makes sense. It's probably a good time for hunting. And I'm gonna fix the brightness here for us because it looks like the clouds are gonna be clear for us for just a little bit. The clouds came right back the moment I got it kind of cleared. But if I leave it right there, we'll be okay for a little bit. It's a pretty clean shot of it, minus the fact that it's cloudy out. This is not the lens that I've used before to image the moon, if you've ever been in one of my moon streams. I normally use a slightly more powerful lens, but I also don't normally use it with the teleconverter on it. So yeah, it's a bit too high up on my screen too, but the clouds are also blocking it. So I'll move it down in a second. There's a big open spot in the sky, so it's like maybe a half hour from reaching that point. And I just caught it as the clouds were just barely breaking free of them. But it's also just barely over the roof of my house. So is that red Spider-Man me? Yes, I am in the field of view. If a witch flies in front of it, that's a good idea, Sawyer. My daughter's been asking me to do Moonstream because she likes to just come out and get in front of everything and talk to people. But it's too late and she went to bed, so. Clear for a little bit. Let's zoom in on a part of it. Sorry about the bouncy screen. Here come the clouds, of course. Hey, Uncle Bill. Hey, Hannah, Rebecca, thank you for the subscription. Now there's all kinds of diatoms all over the moon. That's just where they needed to be. It's impossible for me to also run my chat while I'm trying to do camera stuff. Like everything else, it's a challenge for me to act like a normal streamer. But let me give it a try and see what I can do. Let's see, this one, I could put this in there, a little Hannah Rebecca music tag. There you go, it's a shout out. Corkmark, it's not a telescope. It's actually just a camera with a really, really good lens on it. This is a, let's see, I have to turn down the volume on my phone. Today I have this lens on my camera. There you go. And the camera settings right now are just geared towards the moon, but I have the f-stop as low as possible. Yeah, it's a really nice lens. I don't want to tell you how much it costs because it's expensive, but let me move this up so you can see the moon a little bit before the clouds crush it again. And I can try to focus it a little bit better. There you go. There's the moon. She's a pretty one. We're being raided. I hear the raid noise. Hang on, chat. I'm coming. I don't know who raided me. Who is this? Oh, Paleontologizing. Hello. I haven't been rated by Paleontologizing in so long because I've been mostly doing afternoon streams. But the moon is out and it's full, and it keeps creeping behind the clouds. And right now it's in a bit of a clear spot. And it seems like it'll stay that way for maybe a couple minutes, and then it's going to get really clear once it gets above the clouds. Oh, thank you for resubscribing to Paleontologizing. Pat, can you give... oh, you did. Never mind. You're always on top of it. Yeah, so normally I'm streaming from a microscope. Either a scanning electron microscope, which is what I do in the afternoons, or sometimes in the evenings. I'll do a light microscope stream, and then occasionally I do just stuff from my camera. Oh, my battery's running low. I need to plug in my laptop before crisis strikes. Aha. There we go. Sorry, I had to switch to wireless to get out into the yard far enough. The moon is creepy. I've never heard anybody describe the moon as creepy. You like how the light's reflecting off my glasses? Yeah, the moon's in my eye like a big pizza pie, and that's amore. I look like a night monster. Well, normally during the day I look a bit like a day monster, so, you know, that's fine. Let me go touch up the lens a little bit because we're getting a little bit high and on the image, and also there's a big box around it and I can zoom in a little bit on the moon a bit some more. Sorry, I'm in the tree in our front yard a little bit as well, so... That's the moon there, and we're zoomed in a little closer now. This is actually the lowest magnification on my camera for the digital zoom, which is 3 times. The drift is the moon moving, Tropical Geek. It turns out that, or rather, you know, some combination of the Earth and the moon moving. It turns out that it goes around the Earth, and my camera's in a fixed point. So when you're zoomed in very close, what happens is that when you're zoomed in very close, what happens is that the moon moves pretty quickly. So that's just a normal byproduct of the fact that we're zoomed in pretty tightly on it. When I zoom back out, so that's also the wind causing the camera. Oh, did you see that plane? Did you see the plane that flew right across there? Oh, that was amazing. A giant jet just flew right through and photobombed my moon. me get rid of that little box for a bit. Sorry about the wobble. That's just a byproduct of being like really high up on my my tripod, right? That was pretty awesome, right? That plane just went like right through the field of view. Great job, Tropical. The wobble is natural. The Earth wobbles a little bit. Did you know that? On its axis. It's tilted 23.6 degrees or something. I don't remember what the number is, but it twists around a little bit and it wobbles a bit, just a few degrees in the tilt that it has. Yeah, the Milankovitch cycles. The wobbly bit is the Earth. The moon also wobbles a bit, and I think it's slowly moving away from planet Earth a little bit, right? Just a tiny bit, a couple centimeters a year. That clip. Hopefully you don't get me shrieking like a crazy person in it, like, oh, the plane! Because that was kind of crazy. We all wobble together, yeah. We're moving super fast together, too. We don't really recognize it because we're attached to the Earth's surface, but it's moving pretty quickly as well. So, I've been talking a little bit about doing a moon stream for a while, and then here it is, it's out, and it's full. So, I'm glad you all could join me for that, especially the little plane bit. That was pretty exciting. And I can zoom in a little bit again. Thank you for the cheer, Graph Dark. Hopefully you can also hear all the crickets in my yard, and my neighbors rolling their trash bins out to the curb. Oh, it's my wife who's also... Are you rolling the trash can out? It's fine. Yeah, the moon is moving away from the Earth, and our rotation is slowing down a little bit, yeah. So, if it were just a little bit earlier in the summer, we could get fireflies. It's a little late for that now. And also, you can see that the moon is starting to climb behind a tree branch. So that's a leaf that's up there. That's not something like a giant creature that's landing on the moon. And it's just a byproduct of me having to move the tripod a bit to get back out from under the tree. I think I can manage that. I have to sort of move the whole station a little bit. And then try not to pull all the cables out of my camera while I'm simultaneously talking to you and shifting things around. Make some on-the-fly adjustments to my tripod again. There you go. Maybe a little bright. You're off to bed. It's 4:17. Yeah. Good night, all the people who have to go to bed. The moon is here, and it's not going anywhere. probably another night I'll also stream the moon, so nothing that you're missing. Have a good night. I hope your stream went well. I forgot to mention that, paleontologizing, but thank you for bringing people in. As I mentioned, everything is lightning bugs, yeah. Fireflies, lightning bugs. The clouds are sort of rolling back over the moon a bit. My phone says at 11 o'clock the sky will be cloudy, and at 10 o'clock it's clear. So, I'm not sure how much more moon we'll get, but I think it'll clear these clouds one more time, or a couple more times at least. And then probably it'll be another hour before it's high enough to get out of the clouds. So I just wanted to sort of creep in a little bit of the moon and get as much of it as I could before it got too late, because I told Hannah that I would try, and I mentioned before the giant raid arrived. Let's see, we can give Hannah a shout out while we have people here. You should check her out. Currently in Croatia, traveling around. Yeah, I can make the green box go away. It's actually just my Zoom field. And relatively easy to dismiss. Oops. Combined activity of trying to balance all of this while doing everything else is not easy. Oh, you want to be able to take screenshots. Well, I can also hide my face. I can go back to the hide my face version. So I'm not up here in the corner being creepy next to the moon. And I'll make an adjustment, because now we're back up to the point where the moon's kind of creeping off of the screen, and we only got the bottom half of it again. I don't know exactly where the moon is right now, because it's just clouds blocking everything. So, for the moment, this is what we have, is just kind of darkness. But we had the moon for a little bit there, and it was nice that you guys came and raided right when the moon had cleared most of the clouds. We just have to wait till it clears again. I have more than 2,000 followers, yes. I'm working to hopefully get to 2,500 soon, and then maybe we'll do another giveaway. I think at 1,000 followers we gave away a bunch of stuff. And it sort of slowed down recently, I guess, because I've been mostly streaming in the afternoon when a lot of people haven't been able to watch. Clouds definitely happen. The moon's hiding under that mass of darkness somewhere. Let me see if I can brighten the image a little bit, at least until the moon gets back. we can kind of wait for it a bit. So, oh, it's peeking out again. Sneaky little guy. What's a diatom? Well, diatoms have nothing to do with the moon. Kayla thank you for the resub. Had a crazy subscription day today. Thank you, Pacific. Running a channel moderation while you're doing the dishes. That's a champ move right there. I mostly stream from microscopes, but occasionally we'll stream from my camera, which is what we're doing here. I know people think it's a telescope. That's just because I've got a really strong lens on it, and you can get a pretty clear image of the moon, as I think I've shown you, from just your camera. I think if you have a sort of a focal range of around 800 millimeters, you start to get pretty decent images of the moon at that point. This lens is equivalent to 1200 millimeters, which just creeped right in. I knew I was on the moon, just waiting for it to basically unveil itself. Googly eyes. I think we can't put googly eyes on the moon because that's from my other two computers, and I haven't put that on here yet. But we can put a mustache on the moon, believe it or not. We have that technology. We just do this, and then we make it, we make it a little bigger. Everything's challenging because I don't have a mouse with me. Can't grab the corner of it very easily. There we go. There we go. I'll give you a little mustache. That's the best we can do, is put a mustache on the moon. It does have a monocle though. So it's Fancy Moon, and you said that you ordered some. I've unveiled the moon. Do I put costumes on my diatoms? Maybe. If you consider a mustache a costume, or googly eyes a costume, you know, I suppose I do that. But to be fair, it's not actually me doing it, it's my viewers. I just facilitate it when people ask me to. So, oh, now we've got another leaf and branch of tree branch in the way. I'm gonna reposition the camera again a little bit. See if I can get out from under the tree branch. And of course, I can't see anything now, so I need to turn this around. There we go. Almost got it back. We'll see if the clouds will clear long enough for us to see the moon again. And aha! Perfect. All your bits go to the moon. Here we go. I've unveiled the moon once again, but just for a second. Just as a tease. Yeah, to the moon! Alice? I think that's Alice, right? for doing old-timey TV shows. I can't believe we actually got a hype train on the moon. I didn't even know they had trains on the moon. Anticipation, yeah, you have to wait for it. Thanks for the subs and the bits. That's awesome. Long-time viewers will know, of course, that I just donate all of my money that comes in through subs or bits to student research in my lab. So, hey Claire Bear, how's it going? We're waiting for the moon to show itself again. It's been creeping around in the sky, and right now it's hiding a little bit. You made it back from the guests. Oh, nice. Yogurt Carol, thank you for that. Oh, there we go. We've reached some sort of new level of hype train with that move. Yeah. Have a good night, Hannah, and we'll catch you later. Imagine having a big plush Cyclotella just as a starter, and then obviously do other diatoms. That would be so cool. One of my friends, Sylvia Lee, makes, she knits diatoms and then stuffs them and turns them into pillows and things. So I don't know that there's an easy way to buy something like that, but I do have a Redbubble site with some things like a pillow. It's not in the shape of a diatom. Yeah, the moon came and it went, and then it comes right back. Let's see, if you want to buy a pillow, they do sell pillows there in the form of, oh, you beat me, in the form of ones that I've printed diatoms on. So that is possible, and then you could sleep with your head on a diatom if you wanted to. You know, it will help you sleep, because the diatoms will generate oxygen on your pillow, and that will make you sleepy. That's how it works. Sorry, at some height, the weight of the camera, because the lens is so heavy, makes it hard for me to pick a target at a certain angle. Basically, the camera and the lens start to drag the position a little bit, and even if I tighten down the little clamp that goes on it, they still sort of shift a bit afterwards. And so it's easier for me to kind of aim low and wait for the moon to rise up into the photo a bit. And it's going to be sort of patterned like this for a little while, because what I can see of the sky, the clouds that we have overhead, are just a little bit patchy right there. We don't have any great open areas. Do I mind if you post it on your Instagram screen? No, not at all. You farted on my mom. Cool. I feel like maybe that's a pretty long distance fart. I don't think my mom's here in the channel. You're likely to get yourself banned pretty quickly. I mean, if you want me to do it, it's fine. I can. I mean, if you feel like being a giant weirdo is your thing, we can take care of you. you know, if you're being a child and that's all you got, I feel like your jokes aren't very funny, and I'm not even bothered by them. You know, I'm an old guy. Your mom jokes are for like little tiny kids. So, there you go. Pacific Plankton, got him. I think that's the first person she ever banned. Did you ban people that weren't bots before? That's right. You should definitely give some attention to Pacific Plankton. And let's give Peck a little shout out. You should go follow Pacific Plankton while you're at it. She's trying to surpass me in number of followers, and I keep winning. So I feel like if you don't go follow Pacific Plankton, she's never going to catch up. And it's important to me that she does. I received a level 1 hype train emote. I didn't even do anything. I was just here. Choo choo. Oh, it's a dog. That's great. Alright, I'm gonna fix the image again. Not bad. The puppies. I don't know if maybe the jumping around makes it so it's not actually showing you what I'm seeing anymore. We're gonna try to fix that. Let's see if I make some adjustments. Let's see if I can fix it, or if we reach some catastrophic state. Not sure. It looks like maybe it's frozen. Not sure if I can get it to come back. I can't. You hear static? Static? Here we go. Yeah, I think maybe it was just the microphone feed coming from the camera was blanked out. So we've got the moon back. Let me see if I can zoom in on it a little bit while we have it. That appears to have broke it again. There we go. Let's see if I can get us zoomed in now. There was just a little bit of atmospheric distortion going on there. But otherwise, I think I did an okay job of capturing the surface. You could see all of the impact, the crater, impact craters that are there, and then like the trails of rocks and stuff that blasted away from them, creating those sort of streaky patterns all over, radiating out from the impact surfaces. And then just a little bit of geology for you. Those dark spots that you see are actually basalt fields. So the moon is covered, it's mostly basalt. And so those big circular patches are really dark areas are basalt fields. And I've taken some pictures that were like long exposure, multiple pictures. And if you do it enough, the moon color starts to show up a little bit. So to us, it just appears most of the time as if it's gray. And of course, if you're looking at it from Earth, it looks kind of like a light yellow. It's reflecting sunlight, of course, and our sun is yellow. But if you actually do a bunch of long exposures, the moon has sort of a brown, like a bruised purpley brown color that you can see. Yeah, it's orangish brown. Yeah, exactly. You just got home from shooting a moonrise in the desert. Excellent. Oh, with saguaro silhouettes in front of it? That's amazing. They sound great, Rays. I did some photography, some astrophotography when I was out in Arizona for a while. So if the moon is tidally locked, what are the impact craters that we can see? Are they impacts that passed Earth and hit the moon? Yeah, they're impacts that hit the surface of the moon after the moon split from Earth, right? Because the moon originally came basically, the blue is titanium. Is that true? Hello, Sam. How are you doing? So yeah, I think that they're they're impacts that hit the surface of the moon. 100% true. There you go. You would know more than I would. But yes, so the orange and brownish colors that you can see that are a byproduct of that are probably more like the real color of the moon. We see it as reflected, and so if it's really bright, it just looks like it's white or yellow to us. But like I said, if you do some long exposure photography, and I think I've posted those on my Instagram before, so it's up in the corner there of the screen where the moon is creeping off to at the moment with the clouds. Actually, if you're going to take pictures of the moon, if you don't have an object to stick in front of it, I kind of feel like having clouds is a good thing. It gives it a lot of character and adds a lot more mystery to the moon itself. That is if you don't have like a giant 747 flying between you and it, like we did. I'm gonna move up again. I think there's a bunch of tree branches in my way. It's been a growing problem as we get up into the trees above my house, and I think I'm gonna need to move into a different open area to get the moon clearly again. I have like a super awkward setup. I have everything on a chair out in the middle of my yard with a tripod, including my laptop, and then I've just got cables and cords all around me in every direction, so not helpful. The airplane emote. Nice, Golganic. Oh, there's the moon. There we go. Creeping out from behind the clouds again, and giving it that sort of mystical appearance. Thank you for the follow, Rays. If you're a streamer, Rays, let me know and I'll give you a follow. Or if you have your images, I don't know if you've like dumped them out of your camera even yet, and you want to share them with us, you can either send a link to Pacific Plankton, or you can just post them in the Discord. I'd love to see it. I actually am a big fan of photography, and you stream photography. Oh, that's great. So can we get a shout out for Raise a Fan as well, Pacific? Now you can see the moon is there. It's just been hiding a little bit, and it looks like it's out of focus, but that's just the clouds giving it a blur. I sometimes do a little bird stream photography, and sometimes I just do a little, we've done some astrophotography streams with my sister. Those aren't stream, yes, my Stream Elements throws up all kinds of things. There's keywords that you can say, and when you say them, that's wow is one of them, and it throws up emotes when you do it. A lot of times people come to the chat and I'm looking at something in the microscope, and they want to give me a little joke, and they'll say enhance, for example. And if you type enhance now, I think it does a little emote for enhance. Yeah, there you go. I don't have a zoom in version. I just have an enhance. I've got little emotes that pop up when things happen. And like if you type Pacific, it sends up a little logo for Pacific Plankton. And if you type Dell, it sends up a little logo for Dell. Um, I just have keywords that are hidden, secret words in the channel. And for example, a lot of people say that my streams are like Bob Ross. So if you say Bob Ross or Ross in any way, you get a Bob Ross emote. Awesome is actually one of the keywords. So is SEM. So there's a bunch of like secret words that you can say, and if you say them, you get all kinds of cool stuff. For Samsung, it's actually hidden on my lens command. I actually put in updated information this time. This is the Olympus 300mm Pro with a 2x teleconverter. And Devil and Mrs. J, yes, the devil shows up with one. And so we're effectively at a equivalent range of 1,200 millimeters. So I'm using my Pro lens because it actually has a lower f value than my other lens, and so higher resolution images in low light settings. And I thought maybe that the moon and cloud situation, it might work a little bit better. And then this lens, if you were to try to buy the lens itself right now from the store, I think it's $3,000 for the lens, and then the camera is actually, the body of the camera is like not even $1,000, or maybe it's right around. Oh, this is the Mark III, but it's the lens body is about, the camera body is about half as expensive as the actual lens that's on there right now. It's ridiculously expensive. So I bought mine used, but it was brand new used or something like that, like it had only been used for a little bit, and so I got a much better rate than that. But if you try to buy it new, it's extremely expensive. And my sister saved up money, and or rather her husband did. No, used, it's more like $2,000. I think I actually got mine for a little bit cheaper than $2,000. $3,000 is the out-of-the-box brand new price for this lens. So I don't have that kind of money to throw at it. Or rather I do, but I don't want to spend it if I don't have to. So I have college to think about. You mean my college? No. This is a 2.8. Yeah, I think the base f-stop is 2.8. Sylvia's college. Yeah, well, Sylvia has very generous grandparents, and I think she's going to have more money than me by the time she gets to college. So, also, she's kind of a smarty, so I feel like she's going to get some pretty big scholarships. But I'm not too worried about her. There's big chunks of money coming from Grandma and Grandpa, so we're not too worried about her. They've already invested a ton of it. So here's the moon again, creeping out. Actually, this was, I don't have a lot of other lenses besides this one that I really needed to buy. And so I've kind of like, despite almost never feeling like you're out of things to buy for a camera, I'm kind of out of things to buy until they invent some new lenses for my camera. So I'm happy with all the lenses I have. I have some really nice macro lenses. I have a really great ultra wide and some wide angle lenses. They're all the nice high-end versions of them. And then, you know, yeah, you can always buy more stuff, but I sort of go for a whole year and then I throw a bunch of money at my camera stuff, and then I just learn how to use that perfectly for what I do for a while, and then I wait another year or two and buy something nice for myself. So Stuff doesn't make you happy, but camera equipment does. It looks like maybe the moon is sort of creeping out again. I'll see if I can get it into our field of view once more. One of the nice things about moon photography is using the equipment, yeah. I mean, I'm sure if you had a really nice microscope, you'd be like, yeah, that makes me happy. One of the nice things about moon photography and star photography in general is you only have to focus your camera once, typically. You know, moon stays more or less the same distance from us once you get up out of the atmosphere. You don't really need to worry about much of a magnification effect anymore, and then you can kind of just, you know, point it at the thing it needs to be pointed at. So you start typing into the VOD chat to make comments. Maybe Pacific Plankton should do those things where she streams, what is it, like rebroadcast your stream, and then you can just hang out there and answer people's chat questions. That would be funny. The other half of the sky is super clear. Pack reruns, yeah, exactly. Who you do it with, yeah. It's nice. Looks like it's gonna show up for a couple more seconds here. Maybe. There we go. Creepy moon reappears. I don't know that I want to stay up for another hour pointed with my camera at the moon, but in about an hour it should be really into the clear section of the sky, so message you on Discord while you watch the VOD. That's a good idea, actually. Or you could send comments to her. Whole hour of the moon, although I would say maybe 60% of it's also been the clouds. It's been a fun little stream. Maybe I should find a way to end it here. The moon is looking gorgeous as always, and I suppose I could find some people for us to attack. That would be nice. What's sad? Oh, you're happy? You want me to just leave it run for a little while? That's totally fine. I might go grab a chair though, because it's kind of hard for me to stand out here in the yard. Well, my laptop has a chair, and I have to kind of kneel down into the yard. Slightly uncomfortable. I don't know that I have anybody that I can raid just yet. We'll see. Anyway. Asymmetrics out there. Potential target. Grab a chair. Ask a scientist, also an option. Let me fix the moon's position here, and then I will grab a chair and I'll hang out for a little while longer. We can hang out and chat, it's totally fine. trade places with my laptop and give it a table. Brought a little table in from outside. Inside, I mean. Don't really have a good place to put the microphone. Guess that'll work as long as I'm not typing. Oh, there we go. That's a lot better. It's super painful to just sort of kneel down and try to manage the keyboard and stuff. So you can just hang out here, you, me, the crickets, the clouds, occasionally the moon, and it's 11 o'clock Eastern time, so lunar ASMR. Yeah, let me I could move the microphone even closer, and then I could do a really nice ASMR voice, and the crickets, lower volume or lower voice. Slower. I'm gonna put everybody to sleep. Soporific stream, yes. It's a nice quiet, I don't know if you guys have yards. We have a yard, and when it gets a little cooler in the fall, the mosquitoes stop attacking me when I come outside. And we're into that phase where it's cold enough that the mosquitoes aren't around. No mosquitoes. So, but the moon is back out. It's just outside of our field of view a little because the camera keeps bouncing on and off. Of its image. Hang on, let me move it over a little. There we go. Better. Creepy Moon is back. Hello, Estrella. Welcome in. We're watching the moon. Or trying to. Oh, you beat me to it, Pacific. The creepy moon is creeping around behind the clouds. Every once in a while it shows up, and then every once in a while I have to get up and reposition the camera a little bit. So this is here it's revealing itself. A nice cool fall evening with the crickets and the moon and some clouds. If the moon had risen a little bit earlier and it wasn't so cloudy earlier, my daughter probably would have been running around out here trying to insert herself into the stream. But she's asleep now, thankfully. Yeah, comfy stream. Pull up some chai tea or some coffee or whatever it is you drink late at night. Hot chocolate. Hey, studio, how are you doing? It's spooky, yeah. It's even spookier when I turn on the little face cam, you know, because the light is just reflecting off of my screen into my glasses, so... The image isn't as spooky if I put a mustache on it, right? If we just do this. Does it make it spookier or less spooky if the moon has a monocle? I'm asking for a friend. Oops. The microphone tried to dive off of the table at us. If sometimes it had a mustache and sometimes it didn't, then it might be kind of creepy. It's like, where did its face go? Alright, let me fix the view. There you go. It's gone back to being creepy. With no monocle. The camera is constantly adjusting for the light exposure all by itself. Because I have the camera in aperture mode. I don't know if you heard that noise. The tree next to my house is a bur oak, and it's masting this year, which means that there are tons of bur oak acorns in our yard, and they're very large. I don't know if you've ever seen a bur oak acorn, but you could maybe hold 2 of them in your hand and not much more. Yeah, masting means the tree is a bur oak. It's a mast year. It means it's producing way more acorns than it normally does, and it's not flowering. It's producing a whole bunch of acorns, and the acorns are constantly falling onto the roof of my house. Yeah, abundant production, and so in the middle of the night, I hear this like constant fall. It's like somebody's throwing oranges at the roof because they're dropping from the tree onto our house. And last year, no, it was like maybe 3 years ago or 4 years ago, the last time it masted like this. And the acorns would land on the roof and then roll down the roof, all night long. And I would sometimes wake up in the middle of the night, and then like I could hear the noise that was waking me up, and I would be like, Carlin, somebody's on the roof, because I thought somebody had climbed up onto the top of the house and was running around on the roof, but it was just the acorns. Hear squirrels running around. I think sometimes the squirrels do, they have little hats on them. I think the squirrels sometimes do run around on the roof because there's a lot of acorns up there. So, walnuts. Oh, walnuts are roughly the same size as these bur oak acorns. They're roughly the size of a walnut, but walnuts are slightly bigger. Alright, we need to move up again. I don't eat acorns. I don't think you can eat acorns. I mean, I know people make acorn flour and stuff. You need to process them, yeah. I think you just need to like grind them, and then you could eat the flour. Acorn flour is terrible. Thank you, Studio, so I won't try it. You refuse to believe otherwise. It's good to know. You have to blanch it first? Is that really what it takes? Ooh, now you're getting tree branches, the tree branches that are also moving in front of the moon and the clouds. So a combination of creepiness moving in front of our moon. I'm afraid some of those acorns are going to come down and hit me. One of them just fell through the tree that's next to me. Survival food. The dark shadows that are on the top of the moon up there, some of those are just tree branches. We're getting close to the... I do need a helmet. It's not a bad idea. It's not out of my realm of consideration for things to do, is to get a little helmet. But I also think that... oh, cool. Thank you, Tropical. You know, feel free to share pictures or take pictures. It's just the moon, you know. Actually, I have really, really, really great pictures of the moon, like way better than what I've given you, posted to either my Instagram or whatever. But I have these really high quality, super high resolution images of the moon that I've collected over the years. So it's one of my favorite things to take pictures of. So that big shadow that you see over the top there is actually just a tree branch, and it's because I need to move us again. So I'm going to do that. Sorry, microphone. No. Did we get raided again? This is what happens when you don't go raid somebody. You get raided again. Hey, Ask a Scientist Gaming. How's it going? We're just hanging out looking at the moon. And it's nice to see you. Thank you for giving him a shout out, Pacific. We've been accumulating science folks as more and more people raid into the channel. We're doing Dr. Jonathan Stewart and statistics. Okay, very cool. We've just been looking at the moon, and it's starting to clear up a little bit around the moon, so I'm actually going to see if I can zoom us in a little bit so that you can see very, very close up of the moon. And this is with my camera. It's not a telescope, but people often think that it may as well be a telescope because it's very high resolution and a very long lens. there's just a little bit of the bottom of the moon. We're getting a little bit more cloud cover, but I'm going to move us up again. Was good there for a second. Let's see if it'll pop back up for us. Here it comes. The moon is just a really big diatom. It's possible. Sorry about the fire truck or whatever that's going by. Also, I'm sure you guys heard that super loud train noise. I was busy adjusting the camera when it happened. But Terre Haute gets 60 trains a day that come through. And so a lot of times I don't even hear it anymore, and then it's really only when I'm streaming and people point out, oh, a train, that's really cool, and I'm always like, I didn't hear it, I don't hear it. I used to when I first moved to Terre Haute. It would keep me up at night because they honk their horns as they cross over any of the street crossings, and it used to keep me up, but I don't even hear it anymore. And even when they're just, like, unless it's right in front of me, I don't hear the trains anymore. So I kind of have to, like, be listening for other people to even hear it. You know what I mean? Like, try to hear what they're hearing. For the moon, it's actually, I do have a camera tracker. It doesn't work on the moon. It's a star tracker. But for the moon, my actual strategy is not to use a tracker. I just take many very short exposed photos, and then I stack them. And I find that's just as easy. There's free software for stacking that we can use. And it probably would make it a lot easier for my streams if I didn't have to constantly get up and move for the moon. But for my photography, I actually just stack images, and I find that it solves problems. It actually solves a different problem because one of the issues with long exposure is that the moon it has atmospheric distortion on it, and if you just leave your lens open, the atmospheric distortion kind of stacks on top of itself, and it just makes the whole thing a little bit blurrier. Whereas if you take a bunch of discrete photos and then you run them through a stacking sort of image stacker, what it does is it gets rid of the parts of it, either the images that aren't as clear or the parts of the moon that aren't as clear. And so you end up with a clearer total picture because all of your exposures are filtered so that the blurry ones, or the blurriest ones, basically are removed. Sorry about the wiggle. Yeah, the crickets are very Midwestern. Yeah, for long exposure, there's no point for really bright things. Exactly. If you boil it in acid. Oh, you used to be afraid of the moon? I always felt comfort from the moon. That's weird. Um, I guess because it provides light in the darkness, and sometimes when the moon is full, it's so bright out, especially in the winter when there's snow on the ground here, and the moon is bright. Though it almost looks like it's practically daylight out. So I'm gonna make some adjustments to the lens because the zoom plus the clouds is making it kind of dark. It's a little bit shakier than it was earlier in the night, and that's because my tripod is currently on the sidewalk instead of being on the grass. And when I walk on the sidewalk or cars go down the road, the sidewalk shakes a lot more than the grass does. And you want to hear me sing "Stand By Me"? Um, the Orionid meteor showers are supposed to be pretty good tonight, but the full moon will fade most of it out. It's possible to filter out the moon. No, not really. The moon is just like constantly a problem if you're trying to capture dark sky stuff. Your best bet is to wait for moonset, or to try to get to it before the moon rises. A full moon will just wreck any night photography, unless you're imaging something very far away and you're just trying to image like a star or a galaxy or something like that, a nebula, in which case the moon doesn't really matter, because the sky doesn't need to be so dark because your lens is so long. Um, but the for things that are falling through our atmosphere or where you're trying to get the whole sky dark, the moon just, yeah, makes it difficult. So if I practice singing, whatever song it is you want me to sing, um, I bet it would be pretty good. I've got a pretty good singing voice, but the sound and quality of my voice is good, and my ears are not quite as good at picking out the notes, so I need practice. But if I get a lot of practice, my singing is actually really not so bad. It's probably a really good thing that we stayed on a little longer, because now the moon is actually into the clear part of the sky, and we have gorgeous shots of the moon, right? So these are really nice. Nice, clear, no more clouds for probably several hours now. Not that I want to stream for several hours of just the moon, but it's nice to be able to just kind of hang out and chat um, and watch the moon and listen to the crickets and the wind blowing through the trees and whatever else we get trains and sirens. Yeah, it's been an hour and a half. Not a painful hour and a half. I just have to get up occasionally and fix our field of view. There was an airplane, yeah. The wind is also blowing the camera a little bit. That's a pretty good breeze. That's what the vibration's coming from. Perfect. Hi, Sarah. How's it going? I'm defacing the moon. Or maybe it's infacing the moon. You've been lurking for an hour, but you wanted to say hello. That's a lot of lurking. How long does it stay full? Does it vary from time of year, or is it always the same? Well, the moon currently, I can answer this question. Give me a second. The moon is currently... I've got an app that tells me the status of the moon all the time. And the moon is currently 99% full. And yesterday, it was 98% full. And tomorrow it will be 99% full, I think, still. And by Friday it will be 97% full. So we don't, for where I live, we're not, maybe at some time tonight, at some, instant, it'll be at 100% full. But typically, which app is it? My Moon Phase is what it's called. You posted the song. You're really interested in getting me to tell you, to sing it. I will practice. And then maybe if I do a stream with Hannah Rebecca Music, I can sing it and she can play it. So typically the moon is full, like in what we would perceive as full, between like 98 and 100%, typically for about 3 days. And then, the moon calendar, a typical moon to moon phase is usually 28 days-ish, plus or minus a little bit. And so each phase is roughly 3 days long, in terms of its peak. So the waxing quarter, waxing 3/4, and crescent phases, they each phase basically is just for a couple of days, usually 3 days. And I got this app because, largely because I constantly was taking pictures of the moon, and it tells me like my local weather, whether or not the moon will be clear for me, and it will also it will tell you when the moonrise and the moon set is. So if you were really interested in something like that, it's a free app. It's got ads, but I hardly ever even notice the ads. But then it shows you like what the state of the moon is each day, each night, and you can plan a little bit around that. So it's just lens, the command. Sorry. Just LENS. S lens. There you go. And I think it's only set. Oh, no, I think anybody can use that one. I think some things are set so that only I can use them, but I think that one is set for anyone. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's only set for me. Sorry. Some things I think I just have set to streamer. So, yeah, if Pack used it and it didn't work, then it's only for me because she has all the other controls. So, it's a gorgeous looking moon tonight. Let me do a little close up again, just like to give you that, because it's totally out in the clear right now, and we kept getting clouds sort of running through it while I was doing zoomed in views before. Oh, hi Urs. How's it going? I don't think you can see the aliens, but with my other lens, you might be able to see the moon, where the moon landing was. They planted a flag, and I've heard that people with telescopes can sometimes see it. There, I've got it zoomed in. Should be nice and crisp. You want to see the flag? I'm not sure where the flag is, to be honest. Yeah, there's a big mirror up there. I've heard that as well. Um, I feel like you're back in your college astronomy class. Well, you're actually just in my front yard, so with my camera. What diatom is this? Let's see. It would have to be some sort of eccentric, and let's see. A good name for it, because it's a type of satellite, would be the Latin word for satellite, which doesn't seem like it should have a word, but I'm sure that it does. And then we could just use the species name Luna, right? Well, satellite in the idea of something that rotates around something. Yeah. Diana Syra. That's a good one. If we were naming it, we'd have to come up with a Syra name or a niece or a Tella ending. Those are all good choices for a diatom. There's a nice big view of it. Cheddar-a-Syra. Yeah. Satellites. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to zoom us back out so it's a little overexposed when I'm zoomed in like this. One of the things that happens is because the camera lens is not flat; it's curved surface, and so one of the things that I observe when I'm trying to take pictures of the moon is that it will adjust the brightness as it moves across the lens. So it's usually a little dimmer when it's right at the very edge, and then, or I'm sorry, really bright when it's right at the very edge of the lens, because it's adjusting to the center of the screen. And then once it gets the moon sort of wholly onto the field of view, it can match the brightness correctly. So so when I'm moving it around, it looks like the moon is kind of flickering. But it's just the shape of the lens itself creating kind of an effect on the moon. Thank you, Golganic. Um, a lot of times my streams are, like I said, looking at stuff under a microscope. And the chat's usually good because I have a lot of other streamers in here right now, like Estrella and Pacific Plankton, and a bunch of friends like Tropical Geek and Sam. And so it's always kind of a chill place to hang out. And um, that's always the case for all of my streams. Yeah, it's like a little peaceful Saturday streams that I was doing where I was doing bird stuff. Um, that's just the nature of my streams. So it's a little chill because I am outside. It's not that cold out. I don't even have a sweater on. I was wearing a sweater in the lab earlier, and I took it off when I got home. And it's not actually hot enough to, or cold enough to put it back on yet. So if I could manage to run my classes without grading my students, I would, because grading is my least favorite part. This is the effect that I was talking about. That when the moon is mostly out of the field of view, and my camera has a hard time figuring out where the brightness should be, and as the moon will move up into the field of view, that instead of looking like a helicopter in the sky, it'll start looking like the moon again. But it saves me having to get up one extra trip if I can put it a little bit lower. So it's like, if we had a little fire, we were all hanging out and hanging around the campfire. Uh, the constantly getting up to fix the camera would be like I would be the guy who had to go get the wood and poke it around in the fire and keep the fire going. So it's similar to that. So if I had a little campfire going, that'd be amazing. It would be perfect. And then we could all just hang out and I could make s'mores and eat them right in front of you guys without giving you any. How do you feel about that? It would depend. Because I'm using such a long lens specific, the light from the fire probably would have no effect on it. Um, it probably would. It's too high and it's focused too far away, and the only potential way that it could create a problem is if it glared off of the screen. But if I just put the camera and on the other side of the fire, so the back of it was to the camera, you would never see any effect of it at all. Everybody selfishly eats in front of their viewers now. I never eat in front of my viewers. I don't think I've ever eaten on stream. I hid to eat the donut that I brought back when Pacific was there, and she hid to eat the other one. So, in part because, gonna get donut all over your face. Snacks, maybe something. If I was desperate for food, I might have ate some chips. Yeah. I'm gonna move the moon over into the middle of my lens. It's only because occasionally I don't eat lunch and then I'm desperate for food. I'm so busy running the SEM, I can't even stop to eat, which is normal. I gotta be like Squamby and nibble quietly on brains. Mouse brains. It's nice though. There you go, in case you need it. In case you want to see Tropical Geeks screenshots of my moon. It's a little train noise in the background, way off. There's some good things in my Discord that happen. I got really nice artwork in there. And we've got a great little community of people who hang out, occasionally play games together. Highly recommended. Yeah, it's nice to be able to bring people the moon, especially if you got the cloudy skies going on. The combination of like being able to put the moon on in your field of view and listen to the rain would be really nice. To have both of those things together. It's gotten off to the edge and the top of my field of view again. So I'm gonna make an adjustment. It's got nowhere to go. The clouds are all gone. My weather app said it was supposed to be cloudy after when it turned to 11 o'clock, and it's done the exact opposite. It got clear after 11. And now the skies are totally clear. So, shows you what they know. Craving cheese? Is it because the moon is made of cheese that you're craving cheese? Gray cheese. If the moon was made of green cheese, well, what kind of cheese do you think it would be? It's a simple question. A baby could answer it. You thought it was Gouda? Curdled. That was my best Will Ferrell impersonating Harry Carey from Saturday Night Live. Maybe my second best. I feel like I could have done it a little bit better. You should trust Wallace and Gromit. They probably know. The moon looks kind of like a jawbreaker. Does everything look like candy to you, Estorella? Alright, we're off the edge. I'm gonna move us down one more time. And then, cheese from the milk of Hera. Wow. We'll just do one more cycle like this. The moon tastes like a jawbreaker. Trust me, I'm a scientist. That sounds like something I would say. Well, if the moon is a diatom, and diatoms taste like Smarties, then the moon tastes like a Smartie. There's a plane, but it's flying to the right of the moon, and I don't think it's gonna cross in front of the field of view like it did earlier. But yeah, diatoms taste like, everybody knows that. TKF followed, yes. I'm surprised it took him this long to follow. they've been announcing my streams on their Twitter for like a lifetime. They do have a citrusy look to them. If you missed it earlier in the stream, a giant jet airplane photobombed the moon while I was zoomed in very close on it, and it went right through our field of view. And Tropical Geek clipped it, so it's in my clips. And I think he can post, or they can post it again here. But they've posted it several times into the chat. So there it is. Thank you, Tropical. It was hilarious. It freaked me out because I was like, what the heck? Why is there a giant shadow of a plane flying like right in front of the moon? I'm not critiquing you guys. You guys do a great job. Especially for early science streamers. Probably the only reason that I have as many followers as I do is that the TFK people have been generous, and they constantly raid into my channel and have supported me all along. So, and I try to do the same with other streamers that are scientists, and especially the microscope community, because they're sort of my squad. But of course, you guys have always been supportive, and it's great. Sarah especially, like a super long time supporter. Like the whole reason we even have emotes in this channel is Sarah. So, okay, we'll do one more. I guess we'll just do one more cycle where I've scooted up and then we wait for the moon to cross, and then I'll find someone to raid. So if we can't find a... No, it's true, Sarah. I think you came in and did like a 50 gift subs thing really early on, and then suddenly I had all kinds of emotes, so... And I switched out some of the emotes today. Occasionally switch them out because I just want to give some other different types of diatoms some exposure. And I added these ones, the one that looks like an orange and one that looks like a lemon. In part because I wanted to... There's the orange one. I wanted to be able to do this where I go like... let's see, this one, then this one, then this one, this one, and this one. I can make a rainbow now that I have orange. It looks a little bit like a shell pasta. Well, they're pretty because they're diatoms. The diatoms are always pretty. Hey, there's some clouds sort of creeping in at the top of the moon. Taste the diatom rainbow, exactly. Time for you to head to bed. Thanks for hanging out with us, Ursa. Did somebody give Ursa a shout out? Did that happen and I missed it? We can give her a second one. Oh, did I win? No, mine came in second. If you're not following Ursa Crafty, you should. She does some really cool arts and crafts stuff on Twitch. And a friend and moderator with another person in our channel that we hang out with a lot, Jay Renzella. So... the clouds are creeping back into the field of view. You can see them now moving across the face of the moon. Okay, well that's all right. Thank you for hanging out. Ursa, and we're probably gonna go raid somebody soon anyway, because it's almost midnight. It's the witching hour, and and we should. We've been looking at the moon for long enough, I feel, and it'll be there again some other night, hopefully. Um, for channels I have to raid into, really, I only have some music channels and people playing games right now. I don't see any of my regular sciencey friends streaming or anything like that. So math questions. I don't know about math questions. If we wait till midnight, maybe a witch will cross the moon? It's totally possible. Math, I don't know about math questions though. That sounds crazy. Good night, duck, 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 goose. Let's help small streamers, yes. So, I mean, I have no problem with that. I'm not going to raid into a big channel. We'll raid a little small streamer, Asymmetrical Soul. He's a musician friend, and I've been watching his streams and trying to help him get some more attention. He does really fun sort of psychedelic-y music and trippy sounds. Thank you everybody for hanging out and for coming in with the raid and for the follows and the raids themselves. We got raided by Ask a Scientist Gaming and Paleontologizing, and I feel like we got raided by somebody else before that. Did we get another one? It was kind of crazy for a bit. We got a bunch of cheers. We got a subscription from Golganic, a resubscription by Kalathon, and a subscription from Hannah Rebecca Music, a resubscription from Yogurt Garrel, some cheers from Pacific Plankton. It was going crazy for a while there, and so that was really nice. So, okay, here we go. We will give raid. Oops. We'll do a little raid for Asymmetrical Soul. And now we'll work on trying to get my spelling correct. And all the streamers who are hanging out and all the people who hung out with us. I don't know that I'll stream again this week, but if I do, it'll probably be Sylvia doing a drawing stream for us. So and I'll try to give you a little bit of warning about when that will be. I got it on the first try, so yeah, sorry, I'm gonna go raid a music streamer. But next time we'll catch the math streamer. People driving by. Thank you everybody for hanging out and for all the support, and hopefully you'll stick around and listen to Asymmetric a little. He's really laid back, chill music, and a friend. So we're hoping to give him a little bit of support, and then we'll catch everybody later. Thank you.